lot, thank goodness, but they average at times handling a caseload of 20 or more at any given time. And, you know, in Pueblo and anywhere in our country, sometimes it can be kind of dangerous. So it can be scary at times, but they do a great job, and I'm grateful for all of them.
Thank you very much.
you.
Very well said. Yeah, we certainly appreciate all the work that all of you do, and that so many in this community do, as far as partners and different entities and organizations that really help out our elderly. As I think we've all often said in here, they are a vulnerable population, but they at the same time offer so much back to any community that they live in, because I mean the experience that they have, the wisdom that they have, younger people are fools to not take advantage of that and listen. So we certainly appreciate everybody out there, and then everybody that is doing that work. You guys got anything else?
Well said, Commissioner. I just want to say thank you as well. I know it's a tough job. I know you hear of cases that are awful, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of our community and our ability to intervene and be the answer for some of those situations I know is difficult, and you don't get thanked enough. As a granddaughter and as a niece, I've watched in my own family, you have to take care of those that have taken care of you. And I think we, in our culture today, have lost some of that family structure where there are people to help. But in the interim, we have staff like you that can be that stopgap for folks that need that help. So just thank you again. It's work that doesn't get recognized enough in our community. I know our DHS does a really great job of trying to impact everywhere they can the safety of our citizens. And again, we're honored to present a proclamation in honor of this work. And I don't know if Commissioner, if they want to take a photo or.
That's up to them. I already embarrassed Tammy by making her
That's
do the
true.
pledge.
Come on up. Ooh.
I'll be right. This looks better to turn the video off. Let's forget that.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Next, that'll bring us into our Pueblo County Clerk and Recorder statement fees collected in May of 2026. I will ask for a motion to accept and file.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. That'll bring us into, we do not have anything on our consent agenda, so that'll bring us right into our regular agenda. Mr. Hirsch.
Yes, sir. Our first item 4A is a resolution approving the lease between Pueblo County and Short Elliott Hendrickson, Inc. for the lease of Suite 500 located at 201 West 8th Street. And here to present is Weston Burr.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Wearing my property management hat today. This lease with SEH is a 5-year lease. And the rate is set for all 5 years, so there will not be an escalator, but will bring in roughly $37,000 a year. They are paying for, and so I'll kind of put both together, even though I didn't run the bid. They are paying for the renovations to their space 100%. So the only thing that we're contributing is replacing 2 of the heat pump units that are above their space, but we already have the units in the building. So we are having those installed starting next week. So we'll get that part done. And then the responsible bidder On the next item on the agenda, we'll start the work after we're complete. And then SEH is projecting on moving in and start paying us rent roughly September.
September?
Yes,
Mr. Bird, just a clarification. They will not pay rent starting in September, will they? This first year, we are foregoing rent because they've agreed to make those upfront
It-
renovations.
the way the lease is structured, it's actually a 6-month delay. But that was I think the anticipation was really that all of this was starting in March. They bid the project last year and it came in excessively over their budget. So they reworked their plans and then we put it back out to bid. So we're kind of handling everything, the management of the construction and everything. Mr. Riccatone is handling that portion. And then SEH is cutting us a check. And then we will pay the contractor directly. So everything's going through our process, our bidding, our contracting, insurance bonds, everything, because it's our building. But SEH is fronting the money to us. So execution of the lease allows SEH to cut us the check and then we can start the work.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
I just wanted to talk about the timeline. The lease is September 1st. I assume that's when they expect to be able to move in. It's a pretty tight timeline for, I don't know how big of a renovation project. Can you kind of talk about the
Sure.
ability to get that work done?
And we asked the contractors about that and said, what is your timeline to get the work complete? And the lowest responsive bidder said 60 days.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to hold them to the 60 days and hope everything's good. They're not doing a whole lot in that space.
Okay.
A couple of walls are coming down, a couple of new walls are going up, carpet. Maybe some more. I think we already changed the lights out. So it's not a whole lot that they're doing. More cosmetic than anything.
Weston, what kind of business is it?
SEH is an engineering and architecture firm.
Okay.
They're based out of Minnesota and have multiple offices across the country. The closest, I know that I think there's still an office in Colorado Springs. And the office in Denver has the architectural division as well. And then because they joined up with a couple of other firms, there is a major, I know that the regional vice president is based out of Durango. And he's the one that kind of runs the offices here. So he's the one that I've worked with the most. So right now I think they have a staff of maybe eight to 10 here.
Wow,
But they are across the country. They're a huge firm.
that's great.
And they're moving from another building. I won't say which one, but they're moving from another building in town that they're not happy with.
Oh, that's
So,
great. I was
yeah.
going to ask if they're currently in the building. I didn't think so, but that's.
No, they're
Great
not.
news.
Yeah, they're not, but they've had a local presence for as long as I can remember. And they've had an architect in their office hit and miss over those maybe 20 or 30 years that I've known they've been here, but they've had a local presence for a long time.
Thank you, sir. I will just also comment that this board is very, we're very willing to work on lease agreements like this where tenants, especially moving into unfinished spaces, if they're willing to upfront that cost, due to our cash flow restriction right now, we are willing to work on deals that make the lease terms a lot more attractive over the course of the lease. So I think this is great for both parties and I just appreciate SEH being willing to do this and thanks for working on it.
And that suite was really one that we could have really just handed them the keys. It was the previous property manager's office, so it was very nice, but it didn't work programmatically for them. So that's what they're changing, but finishes and everything were really nice in that space.
That's great.
So we have the full gamut in that building. We have spaces that are basically white box, have no carpet and hardly any ceilings and no walls that are completely configurable. And then we have other spaces and that's dwindling, but we have other spaces that are really move-in ready. That are available too. So I'm planning on once we get the west doors open, having maybe like an easel in the lobby that kind of might describe each space as it sits right now and could put some possible terms on there. So if somebody just happens to be walking in, they say, oh, hey, that's cool.
It's a good idea.
We could move in here. So
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just agree. I mean, and it was well said about just our willingness to work with tenants on making those improvements and getting them in. I think that this board has dealt with a lot of change over at that building. And, you know, it was obviously acquired before any of us were sitting up here. And to be able to kind of roll with the punches as we have and try and make the best use of that space is beneficial to the county and to the community by allowing, because it is, I mean, it's a big building downtown. We don't have a whole bunch of 8-story buildings. And to be able to see or to be able to utilize that space the best way possible, I think is massively beneficial. And so, yeah, I think thanks for bringing that up of just our willingness to work with people. So, I mean, almost using this as an advertising plug for if anybody is out there, we will certainly work with you on getting you into that really prime location. So I appreciate it, Weston.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Weston, for your work.
Thank you.
I know you've jumped right on in and handled those lease agreements and done the thing, and I appreciate your effort to do
Now
that.
I have a second office I can go to if I need some peace and quiet.
Yeah. Okay, and then you'll just sit up here for that next item. I will ask for a motion to approve item 4A.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, Commissioners, our next item 4B is a resolution approving the agreement between Baja Construction, Inc. and Pueblo County for Suite 500 office renovation at the Government Services Center located at 201 West 8th Street.
Commissioners, this, like I said previously, this project was bid in 2025 and came in excessively over their budget. So they reworked their design plans. And then we rebid and we had 4 responsive local contractors. And the lowest was Baja, which is included in this resolution at 122,724. And like I said, a 60-day timeframe. So we should be able to execute that fairly soon. We just have to, after we have your approval, then we'd have to wait for bonds and then we can authorize the work.
Do you have any contingencies in there for if on the timelines, especially on the timelines, I should say?
I believe so. And I've been working with SEH directly and also their consultant that deals with property allocation, that the 60 days is, it's fairly tight, but I think we have some wiggle room.
We do have $250 a day for liquidated damages should the timeline exceed the 60 days. So I think we're covered there. I think it's well written.
In everybody's interest to hit that timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not anything structural or anything else. It is it right, Weston? It's in essence just making it fit the services that they offer.
Correct. And typically at this point, if we get their bonds back, we can ask them for a schedule of values and a timeline that's established before they even start work. So then we'll know where things sit. And so then if there's any issues with long lead times on product or anything, then we can work through that initially and not hit that delay at a later time.
Cool. You guys got anything else?
I am good.
Good.
Appreciate it. I will ask for a
Thank
motion
you.
to approve item 4B.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. That will now bring us into commissioner comments. I can go first. I can be super quick. I'll probably say it again on Thursday, but June 20th is Zoofari at the Pueblo Zoo. So everybody please get out and support them. A lot of these different organizations need people and customers coming through the door. So look them up. And then I wasn't able to go to that Pueblo Punishers game this weekend, but it was their playoff game. And sadly, they lost. But from what I understand, it was like the best game of the season. And so, again, this was the first year that I had gone to any games. Pretty cool. It's at the Pueblo Convention Center, and we want things like that to stay around here. So get out there and support them as next season rolls around. But congratulations on at least making to the playoffs.
Yeah, well said. I think it's super cool that we have that in Pueblo. I don't have much to say either, but I did want to address Ms. Kern and the SUP for the sheep operation. You know, I'm not sure what you expect of the county in that situation. The process played out exactly like it's intended. We received a complaint from you. We investigated. We determined that indeed there was an animal feeding operation. And the county cannot compel a party to come and apply for an SUP. The property owners did that of their own accord. So I don't know what would have been a better outcome at the land use meeting is us to deny the SUP. They came to us, we approved the SUP, and the process worked. So I just don't really understand what the desired outcome would have been other than for the county to say like, no, you've been there forever, you're good. I mean, it's a commercial feeding operation. And that's exactly the intent of a special use permit for an AFO. So I don't exactly, you know, I know that you see it as some kind of travesty that these folks were required to apply for an SUP, but I don't agree. I think that size and scope of operation and the fact that it's strictly a commercial operation should require an SUP. We did receive letters from neighbors saying how the operation negatively impacts them. But like we've talked about many times, we want to preserve agriculture. So while those letters, they mean something, the agricultural operation was approved. The agricultural operation needs to be preserved. And we sided with agriculture in this case. So I guess I just don't really understand kind of what your desired outcome would have been. But also, if you paid attention to the land use meeting last go around, we have an amendment, a text amendment to the UDC that exempts out specific operations for 4-H, for personal use. And I anticipate that text amendment will be approved. It would have been approved last time, if not for a couple of unrelated matters in the proposed text amendment. So we're getting there. We're working towards making it clear to the community what the intent of a special use permit is in regard to an animal feeding operation. And I think we're making progress. These folks have a large sheep operation. I believe an SUP was appropriate. They applied, we approved. Process is working, in my opinion. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I agree with what you said. That's how our land use works, is it's complaint driven. We don't go out looking for people violating anything. It comes to us and then we pursue analyzing whether they've met the code requirements. And that's the way the process works. And it clearly is the only way it can work. So thank you for that clarification. I wanted to highlight something. It was Flag Day on the 14th of June. And I wanted to highlight something that I read that really stood out to me. And I didn't know this about our flag, but it's something that was really interesting. So I wanted to share it. The 50-star American flag flying today was designed in 1958 by 17-year-old Robert G. Heft as a high school class project. He got a B- on it. The teacher claimed the design, quote, lacked originality, unquote, and jokingly remarked that if Heft didn't like the grade, he should get the flag accepted in Washington. So Heft called his teacher's bluff and sent his physical prototype to his congressman, Walter Moeller, who then forwarded it to the design pool. Out of more than 1,500 submissions, President Eisenhower picked his design. His teacher later changed his grade to an A. Thank you, Robert. The flag is beautiful. And I loved that story because it wasn't about the fact that the teacher gave him a B- that ended the story. It's what began the story. He didn't accept the B- or one person's opinion of his work. He went ahead and did the thing that most of us would not do. And I admire the courage of a 17-year-old kid to say, I'm going to send it to my congressman and I'm going to let him put it in the pool. And I think it's a really fabulous story of persistence and not quitting when you know you've done something that matters, to not let one person sway your opinion. I had no idea when I looked at our flag. It's a simple flag. There's not much to it, right? Had to be redesigned when we added one more state. wouldn't think that's a big deal. But it's just funny to think that a 17-year-old kid got his design picked by the President of the United States, and that's the flag we see today. So the message is clear. Don't give up on your dreams, pursue them, and you never know what's going to happen. You could have your grade change from a B- to an A, and I would have loved to have been in that room when that happened for him. Crazy story. Thank you, Mr. Heft.
Did not know that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I remember hearing that, but I didn't remember a lot of those details.
Mhm.
But I knew I was a kid and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, thank you for saying that, Miles. I mean, that's very well said. And a good summary of the process and how it worked out, and it did work. And these are just examples of our planning and zoning staff and this board understanding this community and working with this community and trying to get things approved in safe manners. So again, thank you to staff. Thank you for bringing that up. And land use is one of the biggest things that we do in our job. And we try and get it right, and we are consistently trying to improve that process. So I appreciate everybody with that. Thank you all. Our next meeting will be Thursday, June 18th, and I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the BOCC work session and staff update meeting. Today's date is June the 16th, and the time is 9:37 a.m. We will take attendance beginning with County Attorney Brendan Hirsch,
Brendan Hirsch, Interim County Attorney.
Paula McFeeters.
Zach Swearingen,
Miles Lucero.
and thank you to everybody else in attendance. We don't have any presentations, and I do not believe that we have any operational updates unless you guys have something.
No.
No?
Actually, Commissioner, one just popped up. So SCED has let us know that Pueblo County is short one representative on their board. I didn't know how you guys wanted to handle that. If we want to put it out to the community, if we want to talk about who maybe within the organization would be a good fit, but I just want to put on your radar that we do have an appointment to make for SCED. I don't believe that's a board, Tommy, that we go through our typical like boards and commissions process. It's kind of a little bit more specialized. So I'm good either way if we want to solicit or if we want to just put our heads together and kind of come up with who the appropriate person would be. But they've asked a couple times and
Okay.
I need to get them an answer.
I lean more towards putting it out to the public, but I mean, I could be sold either the other way of just keeping it internal to county staff.
I think with the focus on some of the grant writing that they do and resource development in the community, which is what they're focused on, it may be a fit for a grant writer to be on that,
That's kind of where I was thinking as well.
just so she can be aware of, different, because that is the focus of SCED, is the economic development and grants and different things. I don't
Correct.
know. That was just one thought I had.
I mean, I'm comfortable with making that appointment if you guys are okay with it. I think it's a good fit.
Mhm.
Is Sarah okay with it?
I don't know.
We'll have to ask her.
Yeah.
But that's just what's coming to
Okay.
mind.
So maybe I'll just take it back to Sarah, pick her brain on it, and then we can ratify
Bring it back
Yeah.
next week or
Okay.
even Thursday. Okay, thank you. That'll leave us with a request for executive session, Mr. Hirsch.
Thank you, Commissioner. I am requesting an executive session for a conference with the county attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS 24-64024B regarding building updates and contractor performance questions concerning the Pueblo County Detention Center located at 3830 Medal of Honor Boulevard, and for legal questions concerning the at-will status of C-suite level employees.
Thank you. I will ask for a motion to go into executive session for the reasons cited.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're in executive session.